I promise you won't be disappointed. Welcome home. Should you buy or should you rent when moving out to the Bay Area? Hi, my name is Casey. We are a team of realtors here in Silicon Valley. If you're thinking of moving out here, we'll love to help you find your home. If you're thinking of selling your home, we'll love an opportunity to interview with you. Today, we need to talk about this. If you're moving out to the Bay Area, should you buy your own home or should you rent for a little bit and then buy? The reason I wanted to make this video because a couple weeks ago, I had a call from my clients who just bought their home around 2 years ago. And when they bought their home, it was at its peak. So they pay a premium price. They're thinking to sell their home. And the reason is when they bought the homes, everybody was working from home. So the location works out perfectly. But as we know, as of last year, all the companies wanted people to come back to work and minimum 3 days a week. It probably can increase into 5 days a week really soon. So they live in South San Jose, which is really deep south, and they work in the peninsula. And just for the context, the travel time is around, I would say, an hour without traffic. So with traffic, they're each spending 2 to 4 hours a day in traffic. So they're living in a beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood, but they barely have time for one another. So they're thinking of selling and taking a loss. They bought their home for $1.8 million. And because of the high interest rates right now, interest rate hover around 6.25, 6.75, they're probably going to sell their home at most for 1.7. With the realtor fees, closing costs when they bought the house and now they sell the house, they're probably going to be losing $200,000, but they're willing to take the loss. And just have that conversation really make me think, does that make sense to buy a home in the Bay Area right now? I am a real estate investor, and my husband and I, we buy investment property across state. So we have several in different states. And it's really interesting to me, for example, Texas, we have several properties there. And the mortgage is actually lower than rent. So I just don't understand why people would rent instead of buying in those areas. But we do have really good tenants and they always pay rent on time. And the product that we bought, it's pretty amazing. So we don't have a lot of problem with them. But in the Bay Area, it's different. The mortgage payment here, because of the high interest rates, much higher than rent. And even in the past, we were at 2.5%. The mortgage, I would say maybe at $500 to $1,000. So it would make sense for you to own your own home and buy your home because of the equity gain. You can live in that home for 3, 5, 7 years, and you can sell it with a big chunk of equity. But nowadays, because of the high interest rates, for example, if you were renting a 2-bedroom apartment in a desirable neighborhood, and you're probably going to be paying $2,500 to $2,800 a month for a 2-bedroom. In some area, you're probably going to pay more, $3,200 to $3,500 a month. But if you would buy your own condo, 2-bedroom condo in a desirable area, it could easily cost you $900 to $1 million. And the mortgage payment would be around $6,000 a month. Huge difference, right? So I really do think if you're thinking of moving to the Bay Area and you thought to yourself, this is it, this is the place I want to be for the next 10, 20 years. I love it. I love the sunny California, the beaches, the mountains. Then buying a home probably is a great idea because then you get to live in your home for a long time. You earn the equity, and then you can sell it, move on, or move on to the next home. But if you're just getting this job and you're moving to the Bay Area, you don't know anything about the Bay Area, and you thought, I don't know, I'm probably going to stay at this company for about 2 to 3 years and then move on. I don't know if I'm going to be working for another company in the Bay Area or I'm going to move to a different state. Then I would recommend you to rent. And I can't believe there's a day that renting is better than buying would coming out of my mouth. But in this economy, in this interest rate, and in this area right now, I really do think renting is better than buying. There are several benefits to rent. You can rent in a very desirable area, let's say Palo Alto, Mountain View, for $6,000-$7,000 a month, and you get a really beautiful, nice looking condo that's right in the center of everything. But if you want to buy a home in Mountain View in Palo Alto, the minimum would be, I would say, $10,000, $15,000 to $20,000 a month on mortgage payment. So obviously, if you want to live in the action, renting would be better. And again, don't get me wrong. If you're planning to live here more than 7 years, buying would be a better option. But if you don't know what your plan is, renting for 1 to 2 years, if you really love the job or you really love the area and you think to yourself, I would never leave the Bay Area, then I think planning to buy would be a pretty good option. So that's it for today. I just wanted to give you the information so you can actually make the decision for yourself, because my goal is to help all my clients get richer with real estate. And when I have to sell a home with a loss for my client, it just doesn't make me feel good as a real estate agent and as a real estate investor. So think for yourself. If you're thinking of moving out here to the Bay Area, we can have a conversation and discuss about a good plan for your housing options. Otherwise, if you're thinking you want to buy here, I would love to help to find you the right home. Or if you're thinking of selling your home, moving away, or move up to the next house, I'll love to help you as well. Thanks for listening.